Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. And real quick, I want to talk about a film that I checked out recently, and it is a remake. It's a remake of a film that I've never seen before, so I can't really compare the two to go, which one do I like more? And that film is the 2022 remake of Firestarter. Like I said, never seen the original, and the only actor I know in the remake is Zac Efron. He is the father of Charlie, the Firestarter herself, and this film, like I said, I can't compare the two. I cannot compare the original Firestarter, which I really do want to see now, just so I can kind of get a better idea of which one I think is better. Now, that being said, I don't think this is a great film. This is not a great film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not a bad film either. So I think for me, it's one of those right down the middle type of films, and it's one that I have in the collection, and I will be keeping in the collection, and I probably will revisit again somewhere down the line, because I think it's something that I might be able to get a little bit more out of a second, upon a second viewing. Now, one thing that I will say too about this film is that it doesn't feel like a theatrical film. Now, this film went straight theatrical as well as being on Peacock, but it doesn't feel like a film that would be a theatrical film. It doesn't have that theatrical kind of feel to it. There are even some Netflix films that this doesn't even feel like a Netflix film. If this was something that would be on Netflix, it doesn't even feel like it would fit in even for that. So for something that was on, for Peacock, see, that I can see making sense. This, I've seen other films that are straight, right on Peacock, and it fits more of the mold to go directly to the streaming service there, other than being theatrical. Now again, this thing did not light the world on fire at the box office, didn't really do much at all. Listen, I don't think it's a bad film, just not a great film. There are some things, the acting is fine. You're not going to get any award-winning acting with this one. I think the acting is fine for what they're trying to do with this film. It's only an hour and a half, and I think it does move. It moves at a decent pace for an hour and a half film. It gets its point across. It does, it flashes back a little bit here and there to see exactly things that have led up to the things that have happened in, going on in this film. But like I said, the acting is fine. Our young lead actress who plays Charlie, I think she does a good job. I think she does a pretty decent job, and she definitely gets that emotion, that feeling going, throughout the film when she is, under distress, and all of a sudden that rage, that fire starts building within her. There were a couple good scenes. There's a scene with her like in a stall in a bathroom, and she just blows the door right off the stall. There's another scene that involves her with one of the agents that are trying to recapture her, basically to study her for her abilities, and this happens in his car, and yeah, she kind of makes a marshmallow out of this guy, kind of like roasty toasty for this guy. This guy does not make it all in one piece, that is for sure. That's about all I'm going to spoil for this as far as the film goes, because again, if you have Peacock, you can go stream this and check it out. But I don't think it's a bad film. I think it's worth at least checking out one time. If you've seen the original, unlike myself, if you have seen the original, it's a good way to compare the two. Like I said, just don't expect too much out of this film. I think if you just take it for what it is, I think you're going to find a more enjoyable film. Just realize that there are some decent scenes in this film. I think one of my big gripes, if anything, too, besides not feeling like a theatrical type of film, is the villain, the one main like baddie who's kind of like tracking them through the film. I don't get the sense of like he's a menace. I don't feel like he's, like this towering, menacing kind of force coming after them. He doesn't give me that kind of vibe. So I would say they probably, that was lacking a little bit for me. But overall, I think, like I said, the acting is fine. The interactions between Efron and, our young lead actress, they're done well. Father and daughter, getting that, between the two of them, the interaction, it's fine. It's fine. And, again, it's not going to, like I said, it's not going to win any awards for acting. It's fine. And that's all it's going to be. And some of the pyrotechnics, especially towards the end of the film, that's where things, no pun intended, really start heating up, is towards the end of the film. But I think that those scenes are done pretty well. Absolutely pretty well. I don't think this is a bad film. Just like I said, it's not a great film, but if you can catch it on streaming, definitely that is the way to go. But yeah, the Firestarter remake from 2022. I definitely had to go check out the original now, just so I can compare the two to see, what do I think about that original film. But this one, I'm going to say, I will rate this one. I'm going to give this one, a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's the middle of the road. And 5 out of 10, still, it's not bad. It's not leaning good. It's not leaning bad. It's not leaning great. It's that right down the line. If you need something to watch on a Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night, go ahead and check this one out. It's worth at least one watch. So, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.